the things we do for love. The things we do for love. Perhaps you've done so many things for love. And our collective consciousness, imprinted by Hollywood and Disney and all kinds of fairy tales, the hero's journey, whatever it is, it's a wild ride. And we learn that we need to be a certain way, we need to take doings, we need to accomplish things in order to be loved. And that can come in many ways. It can show up as, I've been there, done that, writing pages of love letters to a man who is in a 15-year partnership, hopping on a plane, taking transatlantic flights to see this human you've ever chatted with online. It can have less healthy expressions, starting doing drugs, starting drinking. It can have healthy expressions, start reading more books, start working out more, or pendulum swing, sitting on the couch, becoming a couch potato, watching Netflix all day and starting gaming. We work more, we work less, we want to make more money, we want less, maybe we want less, maybe we become easier in order to be more lovable. We want less, we're easy. And the question is, what have I done so I don't lose love? Maybe you stayed too long. Also, another option, you left too early. You chased, you performed, you ran away, you showed up even though you were done. You had sex you didn't really want. You didn't ask for sex you wanted. You became less, you lost weight, you put on muscles, you ran faster, you moved slower, you stayed silent, you shut up, you shut down your voice, you taught yourself to want less, you pretended not to care, you love bombed, you accepted breadcrumbs. Who did you become to make yourself more lovable? Sure, I want love, you want love, everybody wants love. But who did we stop being, or who did we stop becoming in order to be loved? And I'll tell you a tale, because as you know, I love telling stories. And if you've been here for a little while, I might have misinformed you. I'm halfway there, if there is such a thing as a goal. I set out on this mission in February to, every Friday, birth a piece of my heart, a piece of my soul, a piece of my experience into this world. And it's not just one creation, it's the ocular, the visual, plus the auditory. They go hand in hand. And then there are the written pieces. You can read them on my Substack, in my newsletter, you can read them in excerpts on my website. Plus, it all comes with little glimpses on social media. So I started on this endeavor in February, and I might keep going. Who knows? One thing I definitely have for you is a free experience called Alive, which will be happening on September 29, and the doors open next week on August 29. So join me. It's going to be amazing. It is really this experience where you'll breathe, you'll feel. It's part practice, part teaching, part transmission, part storytelling, part your questions, and full presence, full aliveness, and it's free. So next week you can sign up for that. And coming back to the process of creation. We are changing gears a little bit here, yeah? And the overall headline is what happens when you feel the things you didn't want to find. And I'm coming back to the storytelling because I love it. I love telling you stories. And the story is a princess met a prince once upon a time in the wild, wild west. It's partially true. Well, it is true. So what happened? I shared snippets of this story before, and today I'm offering you a different perspective. And I'm always doing this with creation. That's my ultimate goal. I'm here to create. And if one of you watches this and is like, oh, I feel less alone now. Thanks for putting words to this. I feel so seen. I am not alone in this. So if that happens, please let me know. I would love to hear. Once upon a time in the wild, wild west, said prince was looking for somebody to co-create an experience. And multiple friends on the internet pointed the prince into the direction of the princess. So they connected. Together, they embarked on this wondrous journey. They entered a silver rotored beast helicopter and went out into the air and flew over mountains and over valleys and over trees and landed on this beautiful alpine meadow in the northwestern part of the American continents, so-called British Columbia. And they embarked on this journey together of supporting a group to feel their bodies more, supporting city dwellers in finding their breath, feeling their feet on earth. And it was wonderful. They had a great time. They were up there during the time of the first snow, no cell phone reception. The group loved it. They were very receptive, very open, hiking during the day, seeing grizzly bears and birds and all kinds of creatures and fauna and flora, pun intended. And the prince offered to the princess, ooh, you know what? I feel it makes me feel really good when I receive touch on a daily basis. How would you feel about having massage trades? The princess was a yes. Also, she arrived in this magical place with a broken heart. She had put all her hopes for finding her knight in shining armor on this one man who then turned out to be someone else. Partially it was the princess's fault because she wanted him to be someone else. She wanted him so badly to be the knight in shining armor that she couldn't really see until her heart got broken. So for her, this whole time in the Alpine was a healing journey. Her heart was hurting. And here comes this prince offering presents, offering touch, offering adventures, offering co-creation. So she said yes, 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 100 times yes. It felt amazing. And by the end of that week, they embarked again in the silver-bellied beast with the with the rotors, and flew over the mountains, over the valleys, over the trees, to land on the other side, back with cell phones, back with cars, back with all the things. And the prince continued to reach out. The prince continued to seek connection, to seek relationship. They kept meeting. The prince came to visit. And over time, the princess opened herself to this connection. And it was actually the longest the princess had requested no penetrative sex for over a year. They kissed, they made out, they had wild, energetic, tantric experiences, big energy orgasms, and no penetration. And ultimately, at some point, almost 2 years after meeting, the prince requested, let's have a conversation, let's have a relationship check-in. I would so love to know how you feel about me, what we're doing here. Let's create a framework for this relationship. And up to then, the princess didn't want anything. And during this conversation, she even said to him, and it also felt true, you know what? I need nothing from you, but everything I receive from you is a gift. And she was proud of that. And also this whole time, it was such an experience of not needing anything, of tending to herself, filling her own cup. And then it's also a pendulum swing, right? This ultra independence, hyper independence. I spoke to that before, which is so glorified in our society, especially for men. You're strong, you're independent, you're a lone wolf. Maybe that really lands with my male audience here, with the men watching this, the men reading this. You were drilled into not needing anything. So you learn to do things alone, on your own. And I was in this experience, pardonnez-moi, excuse me, the princess, not me, not at all me, just telling the story. The princess was in this experience where she didn't need anything. She was easy. She was easy to please. She wanted nothing. And then suddenly, with this conversation, with the prince offering a framework, the princess felt this permission to want, felt the permission, I'm allowed to want something now. I'm allowed to need something now. And finally, got the opportunity or that permission to ask for things. And noticed that all time long, for almost 2 years, she didn't eat cake. She survived on breadcrumbs. And that's okay, because during that time, whenever they met in person, which was roughly every 2 months, the time was magical. The princess was met by so much presence and power and beauty, and they got to explore their innocence and their power and so much of their sexuality together. That was okay. And to this day, the princess looks back and is like, I am proud. I feel like I became more of my inner queen, more empowered, more sovereign in this time through not reaching out constantly, through not having my needs met by this person, but tending to them on my own. And yet at the same time, this question, this curiosity came up for her. Did I make myself less for being loved? Did I make myself want less in order to be loved? Did I perform my independence? Did I perform not wanting too much, not needing too much in order to be loved? And it's an ongoing quest. She has not yet found full clarity there. But it is so interesting to pause and be like, oh, where did I hold back? And I spoke to this before in the past. Where am I coming from? Unmet childhood needs, which is perhaps subconsciously the case most of the time. And yet, I am allowed, you are allowed, we are allowed to need things, to want things, to ask for things, to feel safe enough to ask for things. And if we get them or not, it's not in our power, but it is in our power to ask for them. And you might have done that before in your life. You might have made yourself smaller. You might have not loved somebody fully. You might have held back. You might have not sent that poem or those flowers or invited them out for dinner or asked for their number because you were scared of being too much or not good enough or whatever it is. You might have performed not needing anything. And we so trained for not wanting anything, not needing anything. And maybe you stopped auditioning for love decades ago, but at the same time, you're showing off to the world, look what I built. Look how far I've come. Look how useful I am. Look how little I need. And underneath it all, please love me. Please love me. And all your success and everything you've built. That can include your relationships, your loverships, your career, your businesses. Underneath it all, there probably is, please love me. Please love me. And at this point, sex becomes fascinating. And that's something I've worked on with many clients. It's, can you receive love when you're not doing anything to earn it? Can you receive, and that's especially a blowjob or whatever pleasure it is, where you really required, invited to lean back and do nothing. Can you receive without earning it, without doing anything for it, without changing yourself? Can you simply lean back and receive? This is the tale for today. This is your tale. We move now into more the felt sense, the embodiment part of today's transmission. And as always, this is a transmission. It's not advice. I'm not telling you what to do, what not to do, how to do things. There's nothing you need to fix or change or improve. My invitation for you is to simply be with yourself, to be with what is. And if you've been listening attentively here, a big stretch might feel good. A big stretch, moving your hips, your shoulders, your jaw. Exhaling all the way out with a sigh, with a sound. And settling into your bones, your breath. Question number 1. What happens to your breath when someone loves you and asks nothing of you? What happens in your breath when someone loves you and asks nothing from you? Let that land in your body. Let your body inform you. Maybe there's somewhere particular, a body part where that really lands. What are the sensations there? Simply naming them, not making any meaning. Maybe it's a contraction, an expansion, a tingling, a numbness, a heaviness. staying with it. What happens to your breath when someone loves you and asks nothing of you? Question number 2. What happens in your body when you let it land that there is nothing you need to do for love? There is nothing you need to do for love. Staying with your breath, your sensations in your body. What happens in your body when you let it land that there is nothing you need to do for love? Question number 3. Can you ask for what you want times 100? Ooh, how is that in your body? Can you ask for what you want times 100? The things we do for love. Thank you, as always, for choosing this, choosing to be here, staying. And let me know what landed for you. And please comment, share, like, follow, pass it on to somebody who think would benefit from this. Saying it again, doors are opening next week for a free experience with yours truly, September 29th. I'm so excited for you being here.